18-year-old suspected of breaking a window gets shot by police. The officer who fired later blamed the shooting on a mix-up, saying he used the wrong gun. CBS 2 investigator Dave Savini obtained the body camera video and reveals what went wrong.
How are you? Somebody called and complained about you guys. You guys were involved in something damaging somebody's windows.
It's 8:50 in the morning. Quiet South suburban Sauk Village when these two kids, a boy and a girl, both 14, are stopped by police.
You ain't got nothing to do with me.
What? Okay, you guys got your IDs on you?
Officer Seth Brown starts questioning the 8th graders about a broken window in the neighborhood.
Do me a favor, keep your hands out of your pockets, bro. Just keep your hands out of your pockets. You're coming out here to see friends? Okay.
Police body cameras are rolling.
What happened?
And also show Sergeant Scott Langan talking to a woman in the street who suspects the teens damaged a window on her home the day before.
That's the boy that did it. I got a picture of him.
Who are they? Do you know who they are?
They know my nephew.
Sergeant Langan then approaches the teens who are still being questioned by Officer Brown.
Full name and date of birth, okay? I'm not going to play with you two. Do you understand me? Okay, well, I'm going to tell you.
But the situation quickly escalates.
Why are you touching me?
Put your hands
This
behind
ain't
your
got
back.
nothing to do with
Put your hands behind your back.
Why are you touching me?
Because you're under arrest.
For what?
CDP.
Arrested for CDP. What exactly is CDP? The boy's lawyers say the 8th grader definitely didn't know. It's an acronym for criminal damage to property.
I'm going to tell you something, dude.
His friend then starts recording it all with her phone.
Listen.
Or it'll be another charge.
You understand me?
It'll be another charge, man.
Then listen to the conflicting messages from the different officers. One saying, "You'll be let go." The other, "You'll be tased."
Right now, it's just her word against your word. If you want to make it another charge,
I'm going to tase you.
you're going to get charged and let go.
But then Officer Brown stays true to his word and uses his taser on the 8th grader, who starts screaming in pain.
They use the taser on what's known as a pain setting. The only purpose of using the pain setting is to cause maximum pain to the individual.
Attorneys Gabe Hardy and Al Hofeld Jr. filed a lawsuit against the Sauk Village Police Department for the teen we are not naming. But it didn't end with the taser. Here's what happened next. While being shocked by the taser, the teen runs. Then watch as Sergeant Langan pulls his duty weapon from his holster on his right side, a .40 caliber Glock. He aims it and fires. Here's another view. The bullet rips through the teen's hip. These photos were taken at the hospital. Should a handgun have ever been pulled out and fired in this situation?
Absolutely not. It was excessive, completely unnecessary. There was no justification whatsoever for this officer immediately drawing his firearm and shooting this 14-year-old kid.
The teen, now bleeding, runs from the officers. Dude! Sergeant Langan catches up and this time pulls out his taser as the teen jumps a fence.
Go around the block. He ran around the block.
What was this 14-year-old thinking while he was shot and hiding in a yard somewhere?
He was afraid they were coming after him. He was afraid they were going to shoot him again.
They shot him once for no reason. Why would they not shoot him again?
Why did Sergeant Langan shoot? 2 weeks after this March of 2022 incident, Langan was questioned by state police and Cook County prosecutors. In this report obtained by the CBS 2 investigators, he claimed the shooting was an accident. He said he thought he grabbed his taser and didn't realize he grabbed his gun, and stated, "I'm completely sorry. I feel like I let everyone down. I have nothing else to say." Do you think he should have known that he had a handgun in his hand?
He certainly should have known they had a handgun in his hand. He pulled the weapon from the holster that holds his handgun.
Keep in mind, the handgun in this case, the Glock, is nearly 5 times the weight of the taser. Reckless?
Beyond reckless. And that is complete disregard and recklessness by you, the officer, not only endangering the individual that you are firing at, but the public in general.
Where he had kept his gun and his taser mattered. Take a look at this photo showing the sergeant's vest. It shows where he carried his taser. Then look at Officer Brown's gear. He had a separate holster on the other side of his body for his taser. There was a life-saving reason for this. A year earlier in Minnesota, an officer grabbed her gun instead of her taser and killed Dante Wright during a traffic stop. To make sure this type of incident didn't happen in Sauk Village, the police chief required officers to move their tasers to the opposite side of their body from their handgun, said Langen in his statement. But Langen just kept his taser Velcro to the front pouch of his vest. When that officer made the decision to pull that handgun out of the holster,
Yes.
he was pulling it from a side of his body where the taser was never supposed to be.
Correct. And when he extends it out in front of him, it's within his range of vision. It's in fact, it's within his direct line of sight. So he sees the weapon before he pulls the trigger.
There seems to be other taser-related issues too. Sergeant Langen said the department gave him taser training only 2 or 3 times in the 10 years he carried one. But this department policy says at a minimum, officers should be trained every year.
Hey, what's going on, man?
The man with his hands up is the boy's guardian. He showed up on the scene after the injured teen, who was still hiding, called him to tell him he'd been shot by police.
The ambulance is coming up to check him out, okay? All right.
As paramedics arrived, the guardian begins asking police more questions.
He's saying you shot him for no reason.
No,
the girl said she got it on tape.
No, everything's on body cam, okay? Like the whole incident is, okay?
Even the emergency medical technician started asking questions.
They trying to say that one of y'all shot him or something. All right.
On me.
Then the teen's handcuff is removed.
Hey, let me take that handcuff off.
And then he was transported to the hospital and treated for his gunshot wound. The broken window was never brought up again. Do they ever arrest this 14-year-old?
They never arrest him. They never charge him. They never cite him.
Dude.
It's like it never happened?
It's like it never happened. And it looks and feels like contrition. Because they know, because they shot him unjustifiably.
It's now been 1.5 years since the shooting, and the police department has yet to even start the disciplinary process. Last month, the Cook County State's Attorney's Office decided not to charge Sergeant Langen. The Sauk Village police chief says he was waiting on that decision before taking any action. Dave Savini, CBS 2 Investigators.
I would give a shout out to CBS 2 Chicago for this news. And this situation reminds you of what happened in Minnesota, as you can tell. What happened with Dante Wright. When an officer stopped Dante Wright, she was trying to allegedly use a taser, but instead pull out her service weapon. And you know what happened with the Dante Wright story. Now this situation and this incident happened March of last year. So this officer was questioning, and this is basically like they were only 14 years old. They were only basically 8th graders, right? They were walking, waiting for friends, and this is what he told the officer. The officer basically, was basically arrested this kid. Allegedly, tried to arrest this kid for breaking a window. That happened a day ago. Now, a witness said it was the kid. It turns out that wasn't the case. That wasn't the kid. It wasn't the same kid. By the way, it wasn't basically the incident really didn't happen like that. So, you know what? You saw the video yourself. The officer, was trying to, use a taser to detain the 14-year-old kid. And then all of a sudden, you see him ran away, and the officer pulled out his service weapon and shot that kid in the hip. Luckily, he's still alive. And what make it even worse in this situation is that, you know, the attorney's office, attorney general's office in Cook County, they're not going to do anything about this officer, even though he committed a crime. That 14-year-old kid could have lost his life over a mistake, over a mix-up. And I told y'all before, situations like this keep happening and happening and happening. And see, the thing is that this happened in Illinois. How many other stories is similar to this? And remember, this to remind you of the Daunte Wright case. And now, we don't even know that officer is going to be charged or reprimanded or anything like that. I mean, thank God that he's still alive, this 14-year-old kid. But that situation could have been a lot worse. It would be another hashtag. It'd be and even lawyers themselves say they filed a lawsuit against the police department for this incident. But again, another case of, oops, I made a mistake. Oops, I mean, it was the wrong person. And that 14-year-old kid could have died. Could have been deleted over a mistake. But again, I'm glad that that kid was still alive, but it could have got worse. But again, like, this shouldn't even happen. This is totally unnecessary. But what happened to him? Y'all let me know what you think about this in the comments, and I'll talk to you in my next video. This Lights Didn't sign off. Deuces.